Hello students, how are you? Considering the present scenario, we are unable to take your real classes students, so we are learning through online virtual classes. Today, I would start with the chapter first, that is of Magic Lamps and Genies, composed by Mark Twain. But before I start reading this chapter, I want to share some words about Mark Twain. Mark Twain, 1835 to 1910, was an American writer. He is often referred to as a father of American literature. He was born in Florida, Missouri, USA. During his early years as a writer, he contributed humorous articles to his older brother's newspaper. A master of satires, comedy remained at the center of most of his writings. Some of his famous novels include The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, published in the year 1876, The Prince and the Pauper, 1881, and Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, published in the year 1885. So this was all about Mark Twain. Students, our present chapter is of Magic Lamps and Genies is not a complete story. It is taken from Mark Twain's masterpiece composition Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, which was first published in the year 1885 and is often called the Great American Novel as well. It is also said that all the modern American literature comes from these Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. The novel shows the adventures of Huck Finn and his chum friend Tom Sawyer. Twain was raised in Hannibal, Missouri, USA, which provided him with the setting for this novel. The Mississippi River, which flows next to the town, also plays very important role in the book. This story is about two friends, Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer. Huckleberry Finn is the narrator of this story. He is the protagonist. He is the central character of this story. And Tom Sawyer, his chum friend, very smart. And in this story, you will come to know that how he was successful to befool Huckleberry Finn. In his own words, that was nothing but a trap. He was so smart that everybody, he created such situation that compelled everybody to believe Tom Sawyer. And the same thing he did with Huckleberry Finn also. So here, Huckleberry Finn starts the story. So students, we will start line by line, first reading and then explanation. My friends and I had invented a new game. Here, I represented Huckleberry Finn, the protagonist, as I have already stated. The protagonist, the central character of this story. The whole story is surrounded around him. So here, my friends and I had invented a new game. Here, invented is a verb that means find out. So, Huckleberry Finn, his other friends and Tom Sawyer, everyone, they found out a new game. We pretended to be robbers for fun. Here pretend is a verb that means act like. So here Huckleberry is saying that he along with his friends acted like robbers for excitement or for fun. We played this game for a month. I'm sure most of the students they might have played this game in their earlier childhood. Okay, and I did the same. So in the same way, that in our childhood we invent various sort of games for our excitement, for our fun, entertainment. And here Huckleberry Finn and his friends did the same. They behaved like robbers. They were not considered to be the serious dacoits and all. That is only in fun and game. And we would hop out of the woods and go charging down on the drivers and women in carts who were taking garden stuff to market. Here hop out is a verb. It means get out. And charging down is used to express or to how to say, charging down means here they used to run towards and tried to stop them going forward. So what is written here? So being the dacoits for the time being, they just ran towards the it is clearly written the drivers, the woman in the carts, and they stopped them and they tried to loot them. Loot what? Loot those vegetables, those they were sold, just going to sell off in the market. But here, as a fun, they used to loot them. Tom Sawyer called the turnips is a vegetable, in Hindi it is known as shalgam. So Tom Sawyer called the turnips jewelry and those corns the gold bricks, as they were golden in color. Though we never carried any stuff back with us, so their game and fun was limited. For the time being, they looted or they plundered, or we can say they acted like robbers, but they did not bring any vegetables back towards their own home and all. We would go to the cave and powwow means here it is all about that talking and all, over what we had done, how brave we were, and how much gold we had collected. But I could not see any profit. What is written? After that simple, act, after that short-term robbery, they just went into a cave. There they used to sit and discuss over various things, enjoyment, fun, what they had done today, that particular day. Okay? They discussed about their courage. They discussed about their, gold, what they had collected. But ultimately, they could not see any profit. Why? Because they are they are not actually the serious dacoits or looters. They did it only for excitement or fun. One time, Tom sent a boy to run about town with a blazing stick. Blazing actually a powerful stick, you can say, which was the shine for the gang to get together. And then he said he had got secret news. By his spies means detective. By his spies, that next day a whole parcel of Spanish merchants and rich Arabian people were going to camp in Cave Hollow with 200 elephants, 600 camels, and over 1,000 mules. What are mules? Mules are the offsprings. Mules are the offsprings of a female horse actually. So Tom was a gang leader, we can say. So he had many spies. He had many investigators who used to roam around here and there, and they carried some information or secret news for Tom. So somehow that particular day, Tom got a secret news. What was the news? He got the news that next day a whole group of Spanish merchants and rich Arabian people, they were going to camp in Cave Hollow, and they had 100 elephants, 600 camels, and over 1,000 mules. They are fully loaded with diamonds, and they had only 400 soldiers as guards. So it was a golden moment for them. They could easily plunder them. They could easily loot those Spanish and Arabian merchants. So Tom made a plan. What was the plan? He thought that they would lie in ambush. Ambush means ambush, actually a surprise attack by people lying in wait in a hiding position. Okay. So suppose you are sliding through the grass and suddenly you attack over something, right? So that is called ambush. Okay. So Tom made a plan that they would, hide under the grasses or hide in the any groves, and ultimately very quickly they start attacking them, and that would be surprisable attack. We would lie in ambush and attack the lot and scoop the things. Scoop means pick up or move something, that is scoop the things. Okay, so here we have understood that Tom got a secret news by his spies that the next day some Spanish and Arabian merchants were going to camp to the hollow land, and they had these hundreds camels, 100 elephants, etc., etc., and some mules. Okay, they were fully loaded with diamonds, and they had only 400 soldiers as guards. So they hit upon a plan to loot them. Okay, students, now next paragraph. He said, "We must slick up our swords and guns and get ready." He could never run even after a turnip cart, but he must have the swords and guns all scoured. Scoured means searched, investigated, found, anything. Out for it, though there were only laths, there were only laths and broomsticks. Probably broomsticks that we use to sweep the floor in our houses. I did not believe we could lick such a crowd of Spaniards and Arabs, but I wanted to see the camels and elephants, so I was in the plan. Next day, Saturday, lying in the ambush, and when we got the word, we rushed out of the woods and down the hill. So here, Huckleberry Finn had no intention to play a game or to be the part of the game what was made by Tom. But actually he was very excited to see these horses, these elephants, okay, and these other animals what is mentioned over there. And that is why he became excited, and he made himself to be the part of the particular game where Tom was the leader. Okay, so in his plan they started collecting some weapons. So they thought that they would they wanted to have some swords or the other weapons to loot someone, but as because they are kids, they are teenagers, so they have nothing like that. So they take the lathis, or else you can say they take the broomsticks, and they are ready to attack the Arabian and Spanish merchants. So ultimately, when they got the news that they have reached, so they descended from the hill. But there were not any Spaniards and Arabs, and there were not any camels or elephants. It was not anything but a Sunday school picnic, and only a primary class at that. We busted it up. Bust up, actually, when you create a crowd to disperse, that is called, you cause, actually, for you only a crowd is dispersed either here and there, so that is called bust up. So it is written, we busted it up and chased the children up the hollow, but we never got anything but some donuts and jam. Though Ben Rogers got a rag doll and Joe Harper got a hymn book. Hymn means a religious book, and a tract. Tract is actually a you can say that is a Christian literature in the form of a small magazine or pamphlet, that is tract. And then the teacher charged in. The teacher approached towards the gang, this Tom Sawyer, the gang of Tom Sawyers, Joe Harper, Ben, and Huckleberry Finn. That ultimately the teacher came, and they made us drop anything, as because they were kids, so they were full of fear, and they started running to their own home. I did not see any diamonds, and told Tom Sawyer so. He said there were loads of them there anyway. And he said there were Arabs and elephants and things. I said, why could not we see them then? He said, if I were not so ignorant and had read the book called Don Quixote. What is Don Quixote? It is a Spanish composition where, the writer had mentioned about genies, magic, supernatural powers, etc., etc. I would have known about or without asking. He said it was all done by enchantment. Enchantment means, magical power. That is a power, uh, that is a spell actually, magical spell. Magical power or magical spell when you become spellbounded. You have no control over your body. It is called enchantment. He said there were hundreds of soldiers there and elephants. There was a mountain of treasure, he said. But we had enemies, which he called magicians. And they had turned the whole thing into an infant Sunday school, just out of spite. What is the meaning of spite? Out of spite means when you intend, when you wish to harm someone, that is called out of spite. That is called out of spite. So I said, all right, then the thing for us to do was to go for the magicians. Tom Sawyer said, I was a numbskull. What is written in this paragraph actually? So I got the information from Tom Sawyer that the Arabian people or the Spanish merchants were coming and we have to plunder them, we have to loot them. But unfortunately, we could not see those merchants. Instead of them, we could see, there were no any camels, there were no any Arabian people. Okay, it was nothing actually. It was only a Sunday school picnic. And some primary classes participated in it. Okay, but still we busted it up. So we started running after them and they became very afraid of that situation. Okay, and whatever they had, they just threw them. Okay, and they ran away from that particular place. So what we had then? Somehow we got some donuts and some jam. My friend Ben Roger was there. He got a very torn, very ragged, very dirty doll. And Joe Harper was also accompanied. And he was my friend as well. And he got a religious book and a Christian biblical, pamphlet. And then suddenly that school picnic was, escorted by the teacher. And the teacher came and there was no any way out. And we tried to run away from that situation because of being afraid of. So ultimately what we saw, we did not see any diamonds. And then I told the same thing to Tom Sawyer. But Tom Sawyer was not in such mood to believe. He said that you do not know. There were loads of diamonds there. Everything was there. But we could not see them. Again, we raised questions. If everything was over there, so why we could not see them? Tom Sawyer replied that we were enchanted actually. We were hypnotized actually. There was some magicians and there were some magical spells that was done over us. Actually, I do not believe that, but Tom Sawyer created such situation and the way he was telling everything, so I was forced or compelled to believe his statement. Okay, he gave some explanation that these magicians, these magical spells, those are actually existed in our world. Okay, as because I was very ignorant, I did not read any book like Don Quixote, so I do not have any idea that these supernatural powers also exist in this world. Okay. Next, what is written? There was a mountain of treasure. He said, but we had enemies which he called magicians, and they had turned the whole thing into an infant Sunday school. Just out of spite, I said, all right, then the thing for us to do was to go for the magicians. Tom Sawyer said I was a numbskull. Numbskull, stupid person, idiot, is known as pinhead, numbskull, etc. Okay. So Tom Sawyer gave the explanation that probably those Arabian and Spanish merchants got the information that we, the robbers, want to loot them. So getting that news, they got help from the magicians. They had the magicians also. So those magicians had converted, had turned them into, the small kids like Sunday school picnic kids. That was the situation. And Tom Sawyer, so that time Tom Sawyer was describing, so Huckleberry Finn, here Huckleberry Finn replied, then we must go to the magicians so that we could get any cooperation from their side. That time Tom Sawyer considered me as a fool and idiot person. Okay, students, next paragraph. Why, said he, a magician could call up a lot of genies and they would hash you up like nothing. Before you could say Jack Robinson, they are as tall as a tree and as big round as a church. Well, I said, suppose we got some genies to help us. How are you going to get them? I don't know. How do they get them? Why, they rub an old tin lamp on an iron ring and then the genies come tearing in with the thunder and lightning ripping around and the smoke rolling and everything they have told to do, they are up and do it. They don't think twice before pulling a tree up by the roots or belting a superintendent of police over the head or any other man. Now again, Tom was with his new explanation. He described that a magician could call up a lot of genies, and that was done by the Arabian and Spanish merchants. Okay, and those genies have supernatural power. They are massive to look at, like a tree, and they are as big around as a church. I was terrified. Huckleberry is saying that he was terrified. Then what to do? How they would help those people? Huckleberry wanted to know, and Tom replied that those magicians had some magical lamps. Probably, students, you might have seen that movie Aladdin. Okay, genies are there. Huge size genies, from the smoke they come out and they fulfill all the wishes of Aladdin. They fulfill all the wishes of that person, of his master, who actually rubs any ring or that particular magical jug or jar. Here, same thing happened. Here, Tom is describing that when those people rub an old tin lamp or any iron ring, then the genies come out in the form of smoke and they fulfill your wish. They have massive power, strength, they can do anything, and they are compelled to fulfill the wishes of yours. Whatever you wish, they will surely fulfill them for them and for you. Okay. Next, who makes them tear around so? Why, whoever rubs the lamp or the ring, they belong to whoever rubs the lamp or the ring. And they have got to do whatever he says. If he tells them to build a palace 40 miles long out of diamonds and fill it up with chewing gum or whatever you want, and fetch an emperor's daughter from China for you to marry, they have got to do it. And they have got to do it before the sunrise next morning too. Now, Tom, he to befool Huckleberry Finn, he created again a false story. What kind of a story? He says it is fictional. It is not justifiable, or it is not right that genies come out from this tin or old jugs and ultimately they fulfill your wishes. I wish I could have one genie. Okay, so what is written? It is written, whoever rubs the lamp or the ring, they belong to that person who rubs the lamp or the ring, and they have got to do whatever he says. It means they are the master. If you tell them to build a huge palace for you, they will surely do it. They will surely fill it. If you wish to have chewing gum over there, whatever you want, if you say to bring an emperor's daughter from China because she is very pretty to look at and you want to marry her, they are compelled to finish or to fulfill your wishes before the sunrise next morning too. And more, they have got to build that palace wherever you want it. You understand? Now, Tom Sawyer fabricated such a story, and he tried to be very creative, and he told everything about the genies, their magical powers, everything to Huckleberry Finn. And here he is obliged to have a faith in them actually. Well, I said, I think they are a pack of flatheads for not keeping the place themselves. And what's more, if I were one of them, I would not drop my business and come to serve a person just because he happened to rub an old tin lamp. Huckleberry is saying here that how stupid is it? See, if you are like a genie, you have the supernatural power, a lot of strength, but still you are not the master. Still you are working under someone who rubs the lamp or else the ring. So if I would have been in the place of that genie, so I would not do anything. I would have considered myself to be the master. Okay, so how stupid those genies are. This was the statement of, Huckleberry Finn. But Tom said, how you talk, Huckleberry Finn? You would have to appear when he rubbed it, whether you wanted to or not. Now Tom Sawyer asserted, whether you want or not, that's not the matter. You are compelled to come and fulfill your master's wishes. What? And I, as high as a tree and as big as church? All right then, I would appear, but I bet I would make that man climb the highest tree there was in the country. Huckleberry Finn is replying that you have mentioned that he has very massive, magnificent figure, but still he is working under someone else who is having less power than him. So what's the profit of getting much power? Then, for taking revenge, if Huckleberry Finn would be in the place of that genie, he wished, to just make him sit over the largest or highest branches of the tree. It was a statement of Huckleberry Finn. Shucks, it is not any use to talk to you, Huck Finn. You do not seem to know anything somehow. Perfect Pinhead. Pinhead means an idiot. Now in reply, Tom considered him an idiot person. He is very ignorant. He does not have any knowledge about this supernatural power, magicians, genies and all. Okay. I thought all this over for 2 or 3 days, and then I reckoned I would see if there was anything in it. I got an old tin lamp and an iron ring, and went out in the woods and rubbed till I was sweating profusely, calculating to build a palace and sell it, but it was not any use. None of the genies appeared, so then I judged that all that stuff was only just one of Tom Sawyer's lies. Students, here a word is there, you can see recon. Recon actually means better the establishment, by calculation. When you have your own opinion, right? That is called recon. And next word is profusely. Profusely means too much. So here it is mentioned that Huckleberry Finn started thinking over this matter for 2 or 3 days, and then he came with his own opinion. He wanted to check it, and one day he was successful in getting what? In getting old tin lamp and an iron ring, and went out in the woods and rubbed till he was sweating too much. He wanted to build a palace, he wanted to sell it off, but it was not any use. None of the genies appeared. So then Huckleberry Finn judged that all that stuff, all that story composed by Tom was nothing but lies. So students, this is the way. Now you can see how Tom Sawyer was able to befool Huckleberry Finn in this story. It was very interesting. So here it is the end of this chapter. Thank you so much for your patience. Bye bye. Take care.